Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon OmegaRuby. I'm your host, ThePikaWu. In the last episode, we started our own adventure, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be kind of continuing through it, of course. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and go into mystery gifts instead, because our next team member, believe it or not, is actually sitting here on the internet, and we shall be receiving that team member right now. I'm sure that everyone already knows what the event currently is, which is going to be a shiny Beldum. So yeah, basically our next team member is going to be a Beldum, which also means we're going to have not only a shiny Pokemon on our team, but a Pokemon that might eventually disobey us, and it also means that we will have Metagross on our team. On my planned team, believe it or not, there are 4 Pokemon, I believe, that are capable of evolution, or Mega Evolution. So, I mean, yeah. And we're going to be catching one of those other team members in this episode as well, because it's in the upcoming route. Of course, we haven't exactly received the Beldum just yet, because we have to go into the Pokemon Center and we have to talk to this little NPC here, who will give us our mystery gift, which happens to be a shiny Beldum. So, obviously, I can still soft reset to get a better nature, of course, but I'm going to obviously do that because it's a planned team member, and I'd like to at least have a decent nature on it. And we end up getting, I believe, a hasty nature. So with, I guess, like its best IV being defense, because sturdy body is a defensive IV characteristic. So I mean, there's that. Anyways, we're going to be getting a lot of interesting things today. I guess if anyone didn't already know about this, I don't know if we did this in the last episode or not. Pokemon that fly over like that, you'll see on the DexNav, the little, hourglass thing. You can use it to spot Pokemon. The same applies for this, and this is also another Pokemon that we're going to be catching, because if you can believe it or not, Zigzagoon and its evolutionary line, Linoon, are probably one of the best HM slaves that you can get in Generation 3. Generation 2, they have Quagsire, who actually has things like Waterfall, Surf. I think it even has access to Dive, and then of course there's Strength. So I mean, it covers a large number of the HMs that may be needed in, a specific region, or specific playthrough, etc. But of course we can't really get Wooper and by association Quagsire. We can't get that this early in OmegaRuby and AlphaSapphire, at least as far as I'm aware, anyways. And either way, Linoon and Zigzagoon are they're good enough. You don't get one of the HMs on Linoon or on Zigzagoon. You get it on Linoon though, which I believe is either Strength or something like Rock Smash, something like that. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. I believe that you can give it Surf immediately. I can't remember. I know that you can do like Cut and Strength. It might be Surf that you can't get as a Zigzagoon. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that I have a Linoon on my AlphaSapphire right now. That is currently my HM slave that has, I believe, Surf, Strength, Cut, and Secret Power because of the secret bases, of course. And I mean, I could easily just delete that for the next HM that I may need, which currently is Dive. I'm currently sitting in Moss Deep. I gotta say, there's a lot of stuff I love about this game. There's a lot of stuff that I really like. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who's kind of actually just watching because they can't afford the game or something at the moment, and they're planning on getting it maybe around Christmas or something. I don't know. I mean, the game itself is kind of a spoiler for people like that, but I mean, if they just enjoy watching other people play, then I'm not gonna just go way into detail for something way later on. But yeah. And Mudslap's kind of cool too, I suppose. I don't remember if I showed the nature I had gotten for my Mudkip on screen. I don't think I did, because I mentioned I was going to get a better one off screen. I believe I went with Adamant, and shortly we'll be able to get to the super training again. So I'll be able to not only reset its IVs, but also fully like EV train it off screen. I'm not going to do it on screen because that would take about an hour, if not longer, to do. So yeah, we'll be doing that in the next episode, or not in the next episode, but whenever I am done recording, of course. So I mean, that'll work, I suppose. But yeah. Anyways, there are some really cool Pokemon that you can get through these shaking patches. Not to mention, they get some really interesting moves. Not to mention, you can also get them with really good IVs. which is part of the reason why you want to use like the little hourglass thing whenever you like when you see like shaking grass or you hear it, because it can not only scan for what Pokemon it is, but it can also scan for potential. And what it means by potential, there are 3 stars that will appear. I don't know if we saw this in the last episode or not, but I'm going to explain it now because I do have the knowledge for it. The potential is basically IVs, and each of this, I think it's stars. I can't remember if it was stars or hearts. Because I haven't actually seen it in a while. I've been busy with other things, which is why I'm still at Moss Deep rather than almost done with the game. As I was saying though, I'm just gonna go with stars. The stars fill up anywhere between 1 to 3, depending on potential, assuming that it wants to show the potential. So as you can see, there's another Pokemon here, and believe it or not, this is a 1% encounter rate in the area. For anyone who doesn't know what this Pokemon is, just from like the little silhouette there, it is Surskit. Surskit is a 1% encounter rate, and Ralts is a 4%. I don't remember all the other encounter rates for the area though, but I do remember double checking it because team member is on this route that I want to catch, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't completely impossible. I'm honestly surprised that Surskit's such a low encounter rate, but at the same time it's a really cool Pokemon. On my actual Sapphire, I ended up catching pretty much all of these shaking Pokemon in each area just in case they had their hidden ability or high potential, stuff like that. I do believe that I caught a Tailo at one point that was higher level than it should have been in the area, and it had, I think, 1 or 2 perfect IVs. So, I mean, it's pretty cool the things you can get from the whole sneak technique thing in AlphaSapphire and OmegaRuby. But, I don't know. I enjoy it. The thing is, like, I kind of want to talk about this too. Beldum, obviously, it doesn't have our official trainer name, so I have to kind of keep it under the radar. We will be getting the EXP share probably in the next episode. Yeah, definitely the next episode. And obviously the EXP share works just like it did in X and Y. It will work for every Pokemon in your party. You can turn it on and off, stuff like that. So I mean, it's something that you have to kind of keep in mind, of course. But the problem with it is that if Beldum gets too high leveled, then yeah, I mean, I will probably catch up my other team member when we get around to catching him, which I believe is going to be in about 2.5 minutes. I want to guess anyways, but yeah, I mean, I want to catch that Pokemon up. I want to catch Beldum up a little bit. I don't remember if it stops obeying you at level 10 or not. I'm pretty sure it does, which is kind of annoying, but I mean whatever, there's not much you can really do about that. Once we beat the first gym though, it'll be all the way up to level 20, so that's fine. I mean, I don't really intend on using Beldum this early, really. It's just something that I want to have for the really late part of the game. Once you get to, like the 6th or 7th gym, it's pretty easy to just use it. But as of right now, it's not something that's recommended. But not much that you can really do about it, I suppose. At least the nature is something you can reset for. And, yeah. Also, when it comes to my next team member, which again we'll get to momentarily, I will be because I'm going to be software setting, I'm obviously going to lose it because I didn't save before I received the Beldum. But that's fine with me because I'll end up just getting a better nature. I might even trade over one of my synchronizers that I have just to kind of force the nature. But because I mean I can do that now technically. And doing that's not so harmful to the game as it is to, like do whatever, I guess, but I don't know. Anyways, I thought this was actually a really cool aspect that they added to the game. You can kind of see things at different angles, stuff like this now. You can see like Pokemon flying off into the distance, stuff like that. I mean, seeing Beautiflies fly like that is kind of cool. Didn't want to kind of say beautiful just because it seems like it would be kind of corny. I don't know. Anyways, there's an item down below, and as you can see, because those Pokemon flew over, just like the Wingulls, you can kind of use the thing to search for it. And as you can see, whenever a Pokemon kind of appears, you can like tiptoe around to see what it is, to figure out what Pokemon it might be and whatnot. And as you can see, if you can't tell by the head, it's actually a Ralt. A level 3 Ralt doesn't give us much information, probably because we haven't gotten it prior to now. So, I don't know. But believe it or not, this is going to be our 3rd team member. Spoiler alert, I'm planning on going for Gardevoir, not Gallade, because if I was going for Gallade, I'd probably want to use the Mega, and I really don't want to feel tempted to do that. I have my ideal Mega in mind. Believe it or not, I actually want to do, or I want to actually use like multiple of the same typing of a Pokemon that is going to be on my team. I'm trying not to spoil my team because I don't want to just be like, oh hey, here you go, and just take the fun out of it. But I have thoroughly planned this all out, but there is one thing that I really do want to use, and I guess part of the reason why I don't want to use it is because the one Pokemon that I want is actually not in this game. It's actually an AlphaSapphire, and I'm currently using it. But I don't know. When we get to that part, it'll be cool. Trust me. You guys will. If you haven't gotten through the game already, you know, since Friday or Thursday night, whatever you want to go with. If you're actually experiencing this with me, then once we get to that point, it'll be kind of cool. I mean, it's probably by far one of my favorite parts of the game. There's a lot of things about this game that I really like, and honestly, they outdid themselves when it came to this game. There's a lot of things that you can do. The AreaNav, I think is what that one thing's called. Absolutely one of the most amazing applications that you could add into the game. You can use it to not only see what Pokemon are in every area, assuming you've seen them all. I think that if you see them, then it shows them up in the nav dex, or not the nav dex, but the AreaNav thing. It'll show those. Another thing that you can do is it will show you every trainer in the area, and it'll actually tell you if any of those trainers are actually willing to rebattle you. So if I wanted to, I could do whatever until some of the trainers back in Route 103, I believe that was. Actually, no, I think it was 102. I'm not entirely sure what route that was off the top of my head. But I can check and see what trainers are willing to battle, stuff like that. You can see it on the bottom screen. The way you do it is you tap the, you know how you tap whenever it comes to the hourglass for searching for Pokemon that are moving around in the grass. It's similar to that. You can tap that and it'll blow it up, and then on the bottom part of the screen of the lower part of the screen, where all the icons are right now, you can see things like Pokemon, trainers, stuff like that. And if you click the trainers, it'll bring up all the trainers that are in the area as well, and then you can just see which ones are willing to battle you, what Pokemon they even have, stuff like that, so you can prepare for them. You can do all kinds of stuff. It is absolutely one of the most amazing things I've really seen when it comes to adding some kind of application to the game that is overly useful. I mean, it's more than just useful. It's really, really useful. Anyways, I'm pretty sure this is a familiar face to a lot. If you don't know who this person is, his name is Wally. Wally comes here in search for help of or in need of help of helping catch a Pokemon, because he doesn't have one yet, and he wants one to travel with him because he's moving back to, I think, Turf, I think is the name of the town he's going back to. And our father, Norman, decides to lend him a Zigzagoon that happens to be level 7, as well as a Pokeball to catch. And I gotta say, him blushing at you like that is absolutely creepy. I don't know if he does that if you play as the male or not, but it's a little bit creepy to me. I don't know about anyone else. The price of playing Kawaii Waifu from Hoenn, I suppose. Anyways, I'm kind of glad I didn't get Wallied here, and what I mean by that is it's actually possible for Wally to encounter a shiny Ralts. If he does, then believe it or not, once he catches it, it reverts back to a normal Ralts. So the salt becomes completely fucking real. I'm sure everyone can hear my chair, and for that I apologize. I really wish I could get a better chair, but I mean, poor. One other thing I want to mention, and this is kind of a huge spoiler, so if you don't want to hear anything about the legendaries that you can obtain in this game, you might want to mute yourself for about 10 or 20 seconds. I'll still be talking about it, but I mean, whatever. Apparently, people have reported in that you can catch things like Zekrom, Reshiram, and etc. as shinies now. So I don't know about everyone else, but I personally am going to be soft resetting for shinies on my AlphaSapphire. I'd like to do that on this game, but I'll probably have to wait until after the Let's Play and then have to restart my save file in order to do it. But I mean, it's not really a big deal to me, but whatever. I mean, it'll be kind of cool to soft reset for things like Lugia or whatever, assuming that they're still, or assuming that they're not, shiny locked or whatever. I mean, it wasn't in things like, what's it called, Soul Silver and stuff like that. So anyways, as you'll see, we got a new feature for our, Pokénav, I guess is the best thing, whatever. It is the PlayNav, and the PlayNav gives us access to the PSS, Pokemon Ami, and the Super Training. And we're going to be kind of taking a quick look at those in a second after our father shuts the hell up. So as you can see, you get the little play online thing, and whenever you click the little, button that shows up, it kind of explains what the PSS is, and they do this for everything basically. You got the Pokemon on me here, which if you click it again, it spends play with your Pokemon, visit Pokemon from other areas, etc. And then of course there's Super Training, and it explains it, and then of course it tries to force you to do the Super Training, and we're not going to be doing that because as you can see, it does that, and it insists on having you push that button, but we're not going to be doing that just yet. If we're going to be doing that, we're going to be using probably Zigzagoon, because it forces you to get exactly 4 IVs in your defensive stat, and obviously having that, anyone competitively can say that, on something that you want to be mostly an attacker, which you pretty much only want whenever it comes to, just like a storyline playthrough, you don't want defensive IVs for the most part. But considering we're over 16 minutes now, I guess we should kind of end the episode here. So in the next episode, we're going to finish off Petalburg City and get ready to go into Petalburg Forest or whatever, and yeah, make our way to Rustboro from there. So yeah, if you haven't already, if you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.